Well, one of our leaders here in Iowa is Governor Kim Reynolds, which is our first female governor in the state. What does that set a precedence for when you're talking about these leadership roles, when you're talking about these stereotypes that women are having to work at?
Well, I think, we're in a very different place now in Iowa than we were, 2 or 4 years ago, both in terms of having Kim Reynolds as our first female governor. We elected Joni Ernst in 2014 as our first female U.S. senator, and we've had several women that we've sent to the U.S. House, really all since 2014. So seeing women in executive leadership positions and federal leadership positions representing Iowa has become more standard. So I think that it's less jarring than maybe it was in, say, the 2012 race when Michelle Bachmann was running, or even 2016 with Carly Fiorina, because we're used to seeing that, right? We've had Reynolds elected, appointed or taking over as lieutenant governor, and then elected in her own right twice now. So that's really, I think, helped folks see the possibility of a woman in an executive leadership position. And she's done well with her constituents. She won the last election, I think, about by 18 points or so, pretty strongly. And that was a race with 2 women in it as well. So it's becoming less of a rarity. And I think the less rare it is, the less newsworthy it is in some ways, because voters aren't seeing this as a woman candidate, they're just seeing it as another candidate.
Absolutely. And some of those candidates that I know you've done research on are Sarah Palin, Hillary Clinton. I noticed you've done some research around the sexism that they've had to face. Can you tell me what some of the maybe more prominent things that you learned through that research was?
Yeah, we actually, my co-author and I just had an article that's about to be published that looked at women since Sarah Palin and Clinton in 2008, and some of the media frames and conversation on social media about women. And they still face a lot of the same challenges that they have for, decades, in terms of being seen as unlikable. An unlikable woman is not electable. We've also seen more distrust towards women candidates. So questioning their authenticity is usually how it's characterized. Are they really presenting themselves as they are? It's something that Kamala Harris dealt with. It's something that Elizabeth Warren dealt with. We saw, claims with Elizabeth Warren that she was really a Republican because, decades earlier she had been registered as a Republican, and claims that she was lying about things that Bernie Sanders said to her. So women candidates have run into a little bit more of that conversation of, can we trust them? And then there's the kind of the traditional stereotypes talking about how they are as a wife or a mother, or whether or not they're attractive, how they look. We don't talk much about what men are wearing, right? Or how their hair looks or how their fingernails look. But that's still a common conversation, both in terms of kind of media coverage, as well as the general conversation that takes place on social media about candidates. So it's just kind of an added layer that women candidates have to deal with, that really distracts from their ability to focus on, here are the issues I care about, here's what I would do as a leader, and it has people thinking about unrelated stuff as they're considering who to vote for.